Hello and welcome to another fishy video. So in this video we're going to be unboxing some fry. It's been a while since we've unboxed some fry and I'm really excited to have some more fry. And yeah, let's get on with it. So we have got a different way of doing it this time. I've sort of learned a few things, but this time I'm going to be putting them into a measuring bowl. And the reason for, like, I usually do put them in the measuring bowl when I get the fry, but I'm not going to use the net, so I might even get a bigger measuring bowl at some point to put them in rather than releasing them into the tank. So I'm going to be putting so these are going to be soaking for an hour in here, and while I do that I'm going to drill an hole in the side of this tank, and I'm going to have an outlet so that water is going to come from the filtration system into here directly and then overflow out and then back into the pond like that, so that we've got a good changeover water in this little bowl and also in the tank. It'll only take probably a quarter of the water from the tank. And then there's a couple of reasons why I want to use a measuring bowl rather than the net that I normally use. The first one and the main one really being is that I notice when I feed them from a net or something like that, you feed them in a net, especially with this tank because there's air stone there, it's quite a turbulent tank, there's quite a lot of water flowing through this filtration system. It just goes in and then goes out, and if the fish don't get it straight away, it's gone. Yeah, they are supposed to eat it straight away, but they're not forced to. It's nice that in this bowl some will go to the bottom and settle there. It may mean that I've got to clean the bowl out more often, it probably will, but that's not a problem. I'm not bothered about maintenance, I want them to have something to eat. And it's also got a measuring strip on it, so we can see how big they grow, as long as they don't get bigger than 60 centimetres. Yeah, so that I'm using a measuring bowl this time. The pond is currently at 20 degrees, so it's fairly warm. I doubt they're in 20 degrees when they set off here, so yeah, you're going to have them floating for an hour. And there's salt in this tank, so I'm going to be salting them at 0.75%, but what I'm actually going to do, I don't know, right or wrongly, I don't know, I'm going to check the salt level of what they're already in. I'm going to point this up to 0.3%. When I when I do release them, I'll straight away check the water. I'll release them into this, so they will already be in it. But if it's higher, I will raise it up. But I don't want to raise it up straight away. I don't want to put them in a higher level of salt straight away. Wrongly or rightly, I don't know. It does say in the instruction book that you get to put them at 0.75%, and I'd recommend that you do that. But I don't know whether to put them in straight away or not. This time I'm not going to do it and see how we get on. But I still will be raising it up to 0.75%. It just may take me a day, 2 days, something like that, rather than a big shock of salt. And especially a big shock of salt on the actual tank. So yeah, they're the two things that I'm doing differently to what I've normally sort of done before. Usually I just chuck them in the salt and I've got to live with it. The only sort of thing is I'm not going to be heating them up too much as well. So the last batch of fry I got, which were quite a few years ago, I heated them to 26 degrees. I probably will be getting to 26 degrees, but not until like Christmas time. So they're going to be, I won't let them drop below 20 degrees, so they're definitely going to be staying at that. But I think I'm going to probably have them really well settled in here before we start actually temperature rising. 23 degrees is a good temperature. In fact, I think it says in this book, I'll put some screenshots of the book on or something like that. 23 degrees is a good temperature to keep them at and grow constantly. We're saying that you can might be able to pause it now and have a look. But yeah, 18 to 23 degrees is a good temperature to keep them at. It is a really good temperature to keep them at. I am going to be bringing them up to 26 degrees because I enjoy it and I'm a bit daft. there are a lot of dangers at 26 degrees. If your water quality isn't absolutely perfect at 26 degrees, any ammonia will kill them. Any nitrite will kill them. So 26 degrees is not a good temperature if you haven't got like the filtration that do a small lake like this one. I mean, this little tank runs off of that drum and then that shower filter. So I mean, it's got a good filtration on it, and I never have trouble with how many fish I put in here. And it's also an indoor tank, and it's quite cheaply to heat, rather than an outside tank like this would be quite expensive to keep at 26 degrees. You'd be looking at a 2 kilowatt heater running 24/7 if this were outside. So yeah, there are a few things. Let's have a look at the fish, get them out, put them in here, and then we'll sort the salt out. So here we go. I've got the tank ready for them to go in, and they've been in just over an hour now, so they should be alright. So what's happening here is I've got this pipe here that's putting in fresh water. I might actually like cable tie that there. I'll do that in a minute. And then, so that actually comes from the outlet of the filter. So the filter goes down there, and then yeah, that pipe just sticks up that pipe there and makes some of the water come out there, and then it overflows nicely out there. It's not amazing water flow, but we'll see how we go with that. What I'll do is I'll test the water quality in here and in there, and I'll see the difference. If it's right, it's right. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent flow for a little tank, and it's not enough to like stir them about, churn them up, especially for the first couple of days. I don't want to be like churning them up, so I just set this to a nice little bit of air, not like that one, when if they got in it it'd knock them about. So let's get them in here. How I'm going to do it is I'm going to put them in this blue bowl here, and then I'm going to net them out of it and put them in here. So hopefully do it as quick as possible and get them all out of the bad water. But yeah, I might actually just put a little bit of water in that blue bowl to start with, and it's got some fresh water in it, and then drop them out at bag. So they're still floating there. Let's get them out at bag. Right, I've put a little bit of water in here for them to start with. I don't know if that's necessary or not, but as soon as you open the bag, the water becomes quite toxic to them. So once the bag is open, it's really important to get them out of the water as quickly as possible. And when you've got fish in a bag like this, they sort of set in an environment, and it's always best to not bother putting it in your pond. It's just, although it may not make any difference to the tank, it's just unnecessary to put waste water in your pond. The water's already running its course. You're better off putting it down the drain. And I'm not catching any corners. There we go. Released. Can we go home? Perfect. I'm going to check it again later. Alright, let's get them netted now. See if I can count them as I put them in. Oh, nice. One on each side. Just because they're on the side at this at this point, it doesn't really matter. They might come around in a minute. Try to be gentle with them, but there's so much you can do between being gentle and a bit of speed.
destination at door.
That's a little one. Last couple. Right then, all in the tank this time, looking good. There's one there that's not very happy. But I'm not bothering him, I'll give him some time because he might come round yet. Yeah, right pleased with them. Yeah, Cuttlebrook do some fantastic fishes. Can't complain at all. Yeah, so we'll be seeing what these grow into. I'll keep doing videos every now and then of what happens with them and that in the various stages of life, and we'll sort of watch them grow up. Yeah, that's what it says. See them against measuring tape. That's quite funny, really. In fact, the measuring tape might be a good way to keep track of how big they actually are. So they're just about, I don't know, 2 centimetres, something like that. Yeah, they'll be bigger than that, maybe 2.5, 3. Sort of varying sizes. Right, I'm going to leave them alone. I don't want to hassle them about too much. I want to make sure that I don't upset them or anything. So they're not getting fed today, which I find really difficult. But that's what the instructions say, and they know better than me, I think. So yeah, I'm going to not feed them for 24 hours. So tomorrow afternoon I'll probably put some food in, and hopefully they go. Alright. So right, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon when we'll have another look at them. So we are 24 hours later and they're doing great. They're really happy. I'm really pleased with them. The water looks really clear, but they've not had any food yet. So I think that's probably been a mistake that I've made in previous years, that I've fed them before they're due, I suppose. So usually with the excitement I'm just like, oh, put a little bit of food in, but this year I've held off, not give them anything. They seem fine. They're all huddled together, but they're doing okay. We ended up putting this over here because where these bubbles were here, they're a little bit jumpy, so I put a cover over it, just so they can't jump out or do anything daft. And also we can see the water trickling in a bit better now, which is good. So yeah, I'm really pleased with them. Not had any die, and they all look happy. So I think it's probably about the best start to fry I've ever had. So I think I might have got a good way of doing it now. I think this bucket is definitely the way to go. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do when they outgrow this bucket, whether I'm going to put them in a bigger one or just release them into the tank. But I don't want to release them into the tank until they get a bit bigger, really. That's just all sorts of things to work out, really. I don't like, for some reason, I don't like letting them out into the, it's not a big tank obviously, but when they're like huddled together like that, they're like close, they like to all be close, and I think they get a bit frightened when they're in a big tank. But yeah, so let's give them some food. So the food I'm going to be using is Cuttlebrook Koi food, so their own food that they do with the fry. I've done it in the past where I've tried to crush down normal food, and it's such a pain in the neck, so I tend to just buy these tubs. I'm not 100% sure if they do sell these big tubs. I just request them. I'm just like, send me a big tub in it. So yeah, I've been asking him to do me these. I'm not sure if they're selling because he hadn't put any labels on it this time. So they might be usually selling like small pot type ones. But when I've got 1,000 fry and I like to feed them well, and I'll be keeping them quite warm, a big tub of that. By the time that runs out, they'll want to move on to the next one, and I've got the next size up right there. So yeah, there's 3 sizes of pellets. There's small, a medium, and a large of the fry food, and I haven't got the medium one, so I'm going to go straight from small to the large one. But I mean, there's not much difference in them if you see them together. Have I got some of each food? So that's the larger one. You can't really tell. And then this one's the thinner one. Yeah. So they're just a little bit denser. In fact, it looks the same to me. Might be the same. I don't know. Right. Let's pop some in, see what they do. I'd be really pleased if they rush to it. I'll stand back a little. I think they're interested. Yay, some interest. Yeah, that's good. They're happy. It's nice to see them wanting food, which is really good. Obviously, if they're eating and started eating, then we shouldn't have any problems. So I'm not going to give them too much food for now. I'm just going to what I do with fry anyway is regularly give them very small amounts. So literally, probably that what I've just put in, I'll probably do like every hour or 2, every time I pass, and then they'll be happy with that. And then maybe later on, when they're bigger, I can start putting in extra food. And what they don't, the idea of the tub, obviously you don't want food floating about for long periods of time. It'll just make the water go sour and awful. But the advantage of the tub rather than the net is that any food that has gone in is in the tub and not just straight away leaving. So I don't want the food to leave until they've eaten it, really. So yeah, it's going good. Oh, I'm really tempted to put in a little bit more. I'll put in a little bit more. They're still eating it, look. Zoom in a bit. Get a bit closer to the camera. I'm not keen on that. I don't get too close. Just put a little bit more in. Zoom it in a bit. Lovely. I love little fishes. Can't wait till they all start scurrying to the surface to get food, but they're going to have to get used to the food first, so let's come back to them later and see if they start scurrying to the surface. So the fish have been in here 5 days now and they're doing amazingly well. They're really happy. They're absolutely all over the place. They're eating well. I'm probably not feeding them as much as I thought I would, but I sort of forgot how much they do eat at this size. They don't eat particularly a lot, but I do like to feed them very little but very often. So there's no food settling in the tank. If you look around the sides of the tank, I haven't cleaned it or anything. It's just looked like that for the last 5 days. So they've been doing great. We've only had the one die that came out of the bag, and I think I've got this set up pretty much how I'd want it. If I were to do it again, I don't know. No, if I were to do it again, I could have more water flow through there, but it's sort of just enough water that it's changing the tank over quite nicely. and not hassling the fish. The fish are quite happy about it. So any more than that, it might be causing a bit of a movement, a bit too much movement around the tanks. They try to avoid this airstone and that anyway. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. I don't know what I'm going to do when they get into bigger, so that's going to be worked out in another video. I don't think I want to release them just straight into the tank till they're at least, well I don't know, till they're probably on like 3mm pellet rather than when they're on these fry food. But we'll see how we get on. They seem quite happy, so as long as they're happy, I'm happy. Yeah. Some lovely fishes in there, they're all metallic, but yeah, they can eat quite a bit. I've probably been feeding them about 3 or 4 times a day, except for today when I've attempted to make this video about 3 times, but I've had a baby crawling up my leg and screaming at me. So this is the 3rd time's a charm when I've given to his grandparents. But yeah, happy fishes. So if you want to see more videos on these fishes, if you want to see more fishy related videos, then please feel free to subscribe. I should hopefully be posting some videos soon. I've been a bit distracted lately and I keep promising more videos, but I've been too busy. But we should be getting there with a bit of winter projects getting on, and hopefully we have a mild winter and I'll definitely get some winter projects on. So yeah, if you like this video, then please like it. If you want to see more fishing related videos, then please feel free to subscribe. Any questions or comments, put them down below and I shall see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.